Hey, Chili. Chili. I'm trying to get my husband's attention. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Contagious Smile Unstoppable. We are your host, Victoria, and my Chili Willy husband, who is wrapped up in a blanket in the summertime, wearing his flannel pants and covered in a big nappy sack blanket. It's really kind of cute, babe.
It's official. I'm an old man. You forgot my camouflage slippers.
That I give you your camo slippers, right? He's working this. So we have a lot to discuss.
Do
Of course we do. So first, we want to thank everyone who reached out and checked on Faith. For those that don't know, we had quite the scare, and we emergently were transferred from one hospital to another with some life or death threatening news, which later comes out to be incompetence of the medical facilities. And then we were admitted for a good while, and we just got back. So we apologize for the delay in the release of this week's podcast. But it was Michael's first chance to really see the inside of advocation for an admission. And what did you think?
you want to elaborate a little bit more?
Well, for instance, the state we live in, the age of consent is 18, but at the first facility, and I use that term loosely, that we went to, they wouldn't listen to us when we just asked for Tylenol for pain meds for Faith. They said she had to ask for the medication, and she's not 18. And that was issue number one, if you will. And she just, we just wanted to take the pain away the best that we could. And so they wouldn't even listen to us. And then we said, I advocated that they not put the IV in a certain location because medical moms, we know our kids well. All moms know their kids well. But when you've gone through what we've gone through, you know. And when I say this is the likelihood of success is in this part of the body or on this side, we're saying that so that we have a successful IV and that it will last. But when they did, they put it in the other side and they said, you shouldn't tell us not to put it on that side because we got it in there. Well, sure, you got it in there after numerous tries, but the IV ended up being excessively painful for Faith and it ended up having to be replaced at the other facility. So let's start with facility number one. What did you think about it? And what was your take over the experience?
Be going back there.
You care to elaborate?
Yes, I will not take you nor my daughter or myself to that horrible place.
Why do you consider it horrible? And it's our daughter, not just yours.
Isn't that what it said?
No, you said my daughter.
The fact that you're a doctor, a nurse, whatever, and you look at imaging more than one time
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, this is catastrophic. Get out of our hospital. Go to another hospital where they can adequately take care of you.
And we were in the pediatric emergency
And
room.
as you said, it was incompetence.
That's an understatement. Well, also, when you do a 7-minute ultrasound that shows
Oh no, that shows efficiency right there, buddy.
complete bullshit on the scans, but then when you go to a children's facility and they do an hour and a half of the exact same scans, I mean, it's
come up with different results.
well, even the radiologist read different results. I mean, they didn't even get anything close to the readings that the first facility got. I guess they let the janitor read the scanning because what they found and what they identified weren't even in the same body part. Like it wasn't even in the same area.
So, doctors being who they are, or RNs or whomever, we're going to go by their recommendations.
Not always.
If they say we think it's this, we're not going to play around and say no, it's not this. when they use certain words. So, it was out of our hands at that point. So we had to go to a different hospital and, get better equipped professionals to look into this issue.
Well, they were telling us, don't take your vehicle home. You don't have time. You need to literally leave it here. We'll let security know it's here. You need to ride with an ambulance. They are calling for transport in front of us to see how fast that they can get us to the other facility because we need to move now. They even called in the surgical team at the other facility to be on standby. And for any parent, that's scary. That's incredibly scary. And they said it in front of Faith, which you never ever do. You don't say that in front of Faith. And if you really want to go one step further, and I am not, trying to take away from a nurse practitioner or a PA, we never saw a doctor during this entire thing. We saw a nurse practitioner. And if you're telling me that our child could be in a life or death situation at that point, why am I not physically looking at a physician, or somebody of that nature? I mean, every little bit was an argument. They wouldn't take our consent when we asked for something as simple as Tylenol. And so, and then when Faith finally said, and this kid never ever asked for pain medication ever, when she said, yes, I'm really hurting, their answer was, okay, well, we're going to bring in Toradol. We'll give you a while to decide. Think about it and decide if you really want it. So then a little bit later, she says, I really am hurting. Can I have the pain meds? And they said, oh, just, you think about it. You think about it. Let us know. And just come up from there. Well, I explained to them that she has anxiety. Her PTSD is trauma based around being in a hospital because she lived there for so long and we lived there for so long. And then they also know that she has post epilepsy. Like, we've been blessed by God, well, in so many ways, but we've been seizure free for almost a decade now. But what do they do, when we're saying, hey, she has anxiety, can we do something to try to calm her? We're not asking for sedation. We're asking for like one of those popper things, those little fidget things or something. At that point, they bring her a little bear-like thing that plays like strobe lights. And she's like, oh, the nurse is like, oh, look, you could just push the button and watch all the lights, change color and flash. And I'm looking at my husband and I'm going, you don't do that to a kid who's had epilepsy and was having seizures all the time. I mean, just because you don't have them now doesn't mean something can't produce a new one. And you don't want to take that risk. It's not necessary. So why? So the whole ambulance ride there, we're all just laughing and cutting up in the ambulance. Like, nobody is. I mean, yes, she had an extremely high heart rate. That is true. But they're not like worried about this life or death thing or whatever. And it just becomes, nobody is on the same page. I think that's a great way to start. And at one point, we asked him to even be in the same library at one point, because forget the same page, forget the same book. You can't get some of these people to even be anywhere in the same facility of each other. They don't communicate with each other. Like, if you have blood work drawn, it's an average of 90 minutes to get the results back. If you have a scan done, it's about 2 hours on average. Well, she had a ultrasound done, and after 8.5 hours, we still didn't have results. She had blood drawn, CBC, all of those things were drawn, and nobody gave us the results. And we kept asking and asking and asking. And then, oh, we're going to let you know. We're going to let you know. We're going to let you know. Okay. 90 minutes, 120 minutes, 180 minutes, 240 minutes. We're still going. No answers. We're still going. No answers. We know the white count is high. Still going, still going. Oh, in the evening, I was like, can we please get some answers? Nothing. And then we don't hear about it till the next day. I mean, that is completely unacceptable. And the hospital Children's was very, very interested in hearing this podcast that we'll be putting out, because when I advised them of what we do, because I've advocated for that facility forever, and that we have this podcast, they basically, in the exact words were, "You're going to give us a glowing review on your podcast, right? You're not going to mention anything." I said, "I never said that. Never said that." And I even had the management come over to the facility to sit down with me because of the complaints. We went out and tried to get the nurses. What were the nurses always doing?
They were either on the phone or the computer. I don't know what they were doing at the time.
But they were all gossiping and, chewing the fat.
And I had to go down there after my wife pushed the button for the nurse to come in,
More than once.
and I had to walk down to the nurse station and tell them my daughter is bleeding out of her head right now. That got their attention.
But then they were like, "Whose patient is it? Whose patient is it?" I don't care whose patient it is. When you have a child bleeding from the head, I don't care what extremity it is. First, they're going to bleed more because it's from the head. Second of all, you're still all in the medical profession. Get off your damn phone, get up, and find out why the patient's bleeding from the head. Like, that's just me.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest pet peeves, is the miscommunication. If all the techs, nurses, and everyone carries around this little Palm Pilot PDA thing they have, the notes should be on there from each team, dictating turnover or what was going on, what complaints the patient had, what the doctor said. The doctor's notes should be in there directly after the doctor leaves the room.
But they're not.
Put it in there so you don't forget. If you got 4 patients on that floor, on that wing or whatever, then do it directly after you leave. Don't wait around. Don't wait till you're on
The golf course.
hole number 6 or whatever. So yeah, that was my chief complaint.
No, it was, you had another one when we were in the first facility.
Oh, that don't count. That was just trash.
Whenever they came in, they never checked her armband. They did the procedure. Some stranger came in, did the procedure, didn't check her armband, didn't scan it, didn't anything, and went ahead and did it without checking.
Right.
Then we had people at the other facility. We had 4 nurses, or 3 nurses and a tech that were fantastic. They were absolutely great. But the rest of them really needed a reality check of just anything, because we didn't hit the button for, stupid stuff. Oh, can you paint her nails? We didn't do any of that. But as everybody knows, I'm a very, very recent amputee, and they put her on morphine. And then they had put the orders in originally where she could get it Q4, which is stupid insane. And for a kid who's never had pain medication, all of a sudden she was feeling those effects. And then all the time she kept saying, "What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?" And she would want more pain meds. And I was like, "Oh, no, 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 no." And then, I was like, "Can't we go to a non-narcotic? Can't we go to like Toradol? Can't we do something that isn't so severe?" I mean, seriously, I think that's way too much. And then I asked for a possible round of heparin, because after several days, they had never tried to get her out of bed. They didn't even move her around in the bed. They didn't make her switch positions or anything. And so our concern was a possibility of blood clotting or bed sores, and they didn't do that. We made her get up. We made her walk the floor with us. We made her do that. But there was more than one occasion where I would say, "Can somebody help me? Because I can't comfortably," especially when she was on morphine, walk her and all that IV stuff she had going on into the shower and help her. If she was to slip, I couldn't catch her fast enough, being one-armed, and it doesn't matter. The point is that if you ask for help, they should come in there and help you. And I can't tell you how many times, it just in one night alone, not overall, we're talking about just one night alone, where I was like, "Can somebody please help me give her a shower, because she needs to be clean."
I know I came back one night and you said you had asked like 3 hours ago.
I did.
So I walked down to the nurse's station and got immediate response. But you shouldn't have to. Again, goes back to communication. I understand you get busy on the job.
Not if you're sitting there playing on your damn phone. You're not busy. You're not busy if you're sitting there doing that, or writing a paper.
Show a little concern for the children, at least, and come in and take care of them. Tend to their needs. They're
they're kids and they're scared.
It's crazy.
But then over the weekend, one of them, I said, she suffers from this. She's been followed by psychology because of her being so full of anxiety when it comes to this. And it would be great if we could get child life involved. Oh, they're not here on the weekends. So my husband stays in the room with Faith. And within like 30 minutes, I come back and I said, guess what? I found child life. They're going to be up here in a few minutes. And they said, oh, well, we don't have them. But when I had this meeting in the conference area, they were like, well, we only had one on board for the whole hospital. And I was like, well, we only have one kid in the hospital. And guess what? There was no reason why, if they're there on the premises, why they can't come up and do their job and come see her. There's no reason. And there's no excuse. None. And I told him, I said, I am not here to be difficult. Every time they came in, my husband will tell you, I said, thank you, thanks for helping us, whatever. I brought them Starbucks, gave them stuff. And because my husband had come up with like a plethora of stuff from home and drinks and snacks and stuff. And we offered them to the nurses and stuff as well. But when you're just saying, help me with something so simple, like we needed to change her sheets. And I asked, and it took over a day and it didn't happen. And then when I asked them something about what the doctor said, perfect example, they said, oh, well, we would need an adult doctor to look at this because nobody in this field on the pediatric side does this gastroenterology thing. So you would have to find this doctor. So they talked and left messages, blah, 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 blah. And then we get our discharge orders. And I say to them, nowhere in the discharge orders are any kind of reference to a gastroenterologist on the adult side. I don't know who they spoke with. There's only supposed to be this one person who can do what they were wanting to be done. I said, am I supposed to go immediately? What's the follow-up to this? What's the protocol for this? I don't know. And they were like, oh, we don't know. It's not in the notes. Maybe you just need to call and go in as a new patient. Well, when I call and tell them her age, they're going to say, we don't take kids. I mean, it's like, hurry up. This is life or death, but wait. And they don't give you answers. I don't care. And when I say I don't care, please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. When you're a special needs family and you're used to your life being in that kind of facility, or you're just everyday Joey Bag of Donuts and you're in the hospital, every minute counts. When you look at that clock, 5 minutes seems like a lifetime when you are waiting on an answer about your kid. There was a gorgeous baby there. And Michael and I heard that the baby was a NICU baby. The baby lived there in the NICU for like 4 or 5 months, went home for a couple of weeks and came back. And what's so sad is that the mom never visits the baby. This baby wakes himself up. The baby has to self-simulate. The nurses once in a while go in there and check on the baby and bring him out to the nurse station and play with him. But he's been there for months and nobody ever visits.
We'll take a brief intermission.
What is wrong with you?
Your dog farted.
My dog. Now, that's Rusty over there. Well, speaking of dogs,
You just killed half of my brain cells.
well, we can't afford that.
Oh, oh my God, it's burning. It's burning. Oh.
My husband's so cute. So now that you mentioned dogs, we are getting ready for our annual podcasting fur pause.
You done with your
dissertation of this?
rant?
Well, you wouldn't want to rant?
There was some good folks in there, y'all.
Fur.
Yes.
And I already said that.
There's some nice ones.
Well, they're few and far between, and that's why everybody's leaving children's.
Even the dog was nice. But, oh my God. Leslie, you got some horrible gas. Oh, Lord.
Oh, so we're getting news now that Hunter Biden just
I'm
got
selling dogs.
Hunter Biden just got inducted on federal gun charges. So it just came across my phone. Anyway, So yes, podcasting for pause is up again. This time we're doing it during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is in October. And my husband almost is crying. Oh, babe. You guys could see him. It's so cute.
It's the acid burning my eyes.
So you're thinking that there's acid and farts?
Yeah.
That's where shitty ideas come from. This is hilarious. Oh no, Faith had a backup of gas. That was horrific.
So thank you y'all for your concerns and questions and prayers on Faith. She's doing 99% better. She's got to finish up her round of antibiotics, and then we'll be out of this hot water. So thank you again from me.
From us.
You already said that once for you.
No, I said us. I didn't say me. I said
I
us.
said it for me.
It's always about you.
No. They like to hear your voice.
No. We get more listens when it's us.
No.
Yes, we do. Statistics talk for themselves.
They don't want to hear redneck.
Yes, they do. Jeff Foxworthy is like an amazingly popular comedic, and
have him on.
And he's, you might be a redneck if. So that's where my husband comes in.
You should put that picture up somewhere with Faith and Jeff.
It is up. It's on my phone.
That's not up.
It is. Hold my phone up. It's up.
Gotta be.
So my husband decided to give me a bunch of grief this morning because I had to clean up myself and look presentable this morning to go meet with some really powerful people. And they were amazing and so sweet. I was very humbled to even be given this opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to moving forward with it. What are you looking at?
Just you.
So we'll give more details on that later, but the individuals I met today were just so nice and professional and sweet and caring, and we need more people like that in this world, especially when it comes to helping our kids. So if y'all are listening, thank you again for your time this morning. What else is going on? So Stucco released his first activity book on Amazon for kids, and that's adorable and very sweet. Amazon needs to make a couple corrections because they did a print overlay on a couple of the words, so we're kind of in limbo on that one. Podcasting for pause is coming up, and domestic violence awareness is coming up, where we want to shine the light on those amazing individuals who thought there was no light and they never gave up, and now they're thriving, and we want to thank you for that. You don't ever give up because you're worth it. So what else do we have going on?
I was telling my wife here yesterday, one of my customers just kind of expressed her story of the domestic that she got out of. And one comment she made was, she said, I came to a point in my life where I hated all men. And she said, I just don't want to date. I never want to get married again. I never want to be with another man. But yet she opened up to me as if I was, a close friend. And she got very emotional telling me her story. And, I'm sure my wife can expound on this. That's the way some victims are. Survivors. My apologies. What is that noise?
You're asking the deaf person what that noise is?
But the sirens and dogs.
Sirens? They're probably coming to put the fart out.
And so, I told her, I said, my wife and I have a positive story, even though she went through her horrific ordeal.
Hey, Stucco.
And I want to tell you that there's light at the end of the tunnel. In your darkness, there's light, and there's happiness out there. I said, you don't have to push it right now. You don't have to go looking for it. It'll find you. I said, come on our show and listen to our story, and you'll see. So,
Well, last year I let you interview me. Um, and I get interviewed all the time, but the questions are very challenging, some, but we're gonna let you do it again for podcasting for pause. Um, I think it's a very intimate look at what people go through and how they come out on the other side. Oh, Rusty wants to come over and say hi.
hey, buddy.
But you can. I mean, I absolutely can understand this girl because you don't want another man. You don't want to be around anybody else. But the entire time I went through it, I knew that if I didn't fight hard, number one, I wouldn't have faith, and number two, I wouldn't have you. And I kept trying to, like, I say this all the time, like, emulate the feeling that I would get when you run your hand over my face. It's like the sweetest, most comforting gesture. And I couldn't do it. I could do it exactly verbatim the way you do it, but it didn't feel the same.
Wait. You did a physical act verbatim?
You think you have jokes? I did the touch. Oh, I did the touch the exact same way. Get them, boys.
I think they gotta go out.
That's not excusing you. That you did, and it didn't make a difference because it wasn't you. The touch was not you. And that makes it. There's something right there on the floor, babe. I think you just noticed that. He's really unreal. But you totally understand and can see where this woman is coming from when it comes to her having no trust, because somebody at one point that she felt she could trust betrayed her in so many ways that she feels like she can never do that again. And there absolutely is that ever after of happiness. I mean, my husband will tell you, like, we laugh all the time, like constantly. We'll be in bed and getting ready to try just to go to sleep, and we are cracking up laughing, like over the dumbest things, but it's hysterical, and it's what we do. I mean, constantly. You know, we have nicknames for each other. He's Stucco, I'm Chicken. Everybody wants to know what those are for. And of course, Faith wants this Stucco plus chicken equals kitten. She doesn't understand what those terms are for, but it's super cute. And you can have that happily ever after. Ladies, men, whoever is going through or has been through this, trust me when I say I am looking in the eyes of my best friend. I'm looking into the eyes of my soulmate. He's my best friend. I want to wake up next to him every single morning. I want to fall asleep with him. He is the best part of my morning and the last part of my night. And to be able to have him there, and we tell each other absolutely everything. And there's never a negative judgment. We work it out. We've never had a fight in 25, 20, whatever, how many years it's been.
25 now.
We've never, ever had a fight because he knows I'm right. And I'm just kidding. But when you can, we've had, I think there's only been two nights we haven't physically slept next to each other. And both of us were miserable. We couldn't sleep. I don't know. What was it like for you?
I woke up 3 times. Yeah, and I couldn't find my wife. Couldn't find my wife's pillow. So yeah.
And what about the other night? Because there was two, so totally separate nights.
I don't recall that.
That was when you went to see mom and dad.
Yeah, I don't recall that one.
Yeah, you did. You couldn't sleep.
I'm over 40.
Soon to be 50. So, yeah, and I couldn't sleep. He stayed with us at the hospital the whole time, except that last night he had to get back.
And let me tell you something, guys. If y'all have to stay at the hospital, because
y'all better buy a cot.
Get you a cot. C-O-T. Okay. M-O-O-N. That spells cot. It's from The Stand. If you read The Stand or listen to The Stand, you would know. Get you a cot.
Or you could be like me and be a contortionist in the bed.
No.
I ended up with my face planted on that rail.
Most horrible
rocker or that bed thing.
Recliners and a kitty-sized bed. No. Some guys I talked to in the hallway, they asked for an egg crate from the nurse station, and them jokers slept on the floor. which is probably 100 times more comfortable than that
We
chair.
tried to sleep on that kitty bed together, and it would have been on America's Funniest Home Videos because my husband went plonk.
Oh yeah, I've got my ass kicked out.
Kick you out. You gravity kicked you out.
Yeah.
Like I totally didn't kick you
So
out.
for $100, yes, get you a cot.
And just keep it in the vehicle. But it was just so excruciating. And then they don't let you sleep. Like you have to go home to get rest. And they come in and just do the stupidest things. Like she's, unplugged from the vitals. So they have to plug her in just to do a blood pressure reading. And then it beeps. And then she was like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Are you serious?"
They don't know how to do vitals.
Oh, they had to do the temperature taken axillary.
That's crazy.
And they kept getting completely different readings. The axillary reading,
No,
the vein finder, the ultrasonic vein finder. Yeah. And you're just like, I try to tell them this is where you go and it'll go and be a beautiful, perfect.
Listen, right?
Eventually, after she got stuck like a freaking pincushion, but I mean, it's just horrible. And then just understand some compassion, some understanding. When I would go and I'd get in the elevator and I would go get her a Starbucks or something, and somebody's in there, I would just say, "Hey, I hope everything goes better for you." I don't know the person's situation, but you know what? Somebody needs to just let them know that there's a little light here, because nobody comes in and does anything. These kids sit in this room or lay in this bed, and it's like, do something for them. It's bad enough on the parents or adults that are in a hospital, but for a kid, it's so hard for them. You see it in their face. They start to recluse backwards. They start to get depressed. They start to have anxiety. I mean, Faith got snappy. She got very, very snappy because she didn't want to be there, and she was very quick to tell you she didn't want to be there. And that's just,
And I'm sure some of our listeners have similar or worse experience with these hospitals. Maybe y'all can write to us and let us know, your worst day or months or weeks at the hospital. You can contact us through our website.
contagiousmile.com.
So yeah, please.
Or our email. We're still going to be donating 3 dogs to 3 very amazing families that desperately need them. And you could send in your story or your nomination to Puppy Tales, TALES, at acontagiousmile.com. And we will read those as well. Again, I want to thank the amazing.
Also,
who can't spell puppy?
Puppies.
It's not. It's PUPPYTALE. Stop laughing at me. You know what? The whole we've never had a fight in 25 years.
I'm gonna win.
How are you gonna win? Who's gonna play your part?
I'm always right.
It's time to wake up. Hit snooze. It's time to wake up. Seriously. I mean, seriously, people can find this. People can, not you because you're off the market, but people can find their forever after, their best friend, the person that they miss, that they want to just tell everything big, small, and different with. Just have that moment and that happiness where they just live life with that person.
You wanted to thank someone else. You appreciate someone else.
To whom are you referring?
I interrupted you. You said we want to thank someone else, but
well, I was thanking the individuals I met with this morning, and that's exciting, and I'll be talking about that later. I mean, to go into a meeting with people you feel are so genuine and true and honest and have the best interest for kids at heart is so hard to find, but yet alone to have several of them, it's so heartwarming. And I just want to thank them again for their time today because they were really stand up individuals. So we can talk more about that when things unravel in that area, but I'm super excited and honored. And I want to thank my husband because he was with us every step of the way, not only at the hospital, but in life. And I couldn't imagine not having you by my side, my partner and best friend and soulmate. And it's getting cloudy in here with some pollen. He's getting pollinated. And he was worth the wait. I wish it wasn't, as long as he made me wait, but
Everything happens for a reason. So, yeah.
I'd love to know what you're thinking right now because it's like all over your face. Your hands are warm
I know I got warm after drinking my hot cocoa in 88-degree weather.
and dressed like a, baboon mamushka,
I like my flannels.
but
Yeah.
it's 88
I
degrees.
don't know why.
Go get in the jacuzzi. And then here, sorry, I have to do this. I said, babe, go get in the jacuzzi. And he goes, no, it's wet. Yeah, let that resonate in there for a second.
That
It's
shows you the state
wet.
of my mind.
That's
right
your
there.
always state of mind. That's
Well,
like
I work
always your state of
facility environment,
mind.
right?
But you're like, it's wet. Okay, it's water. It's going to be wet. It's kind of a given.
So therefore cold.
No, it's 104.
It doesn't matter. You get out, it's cold. So no,
Is that really
that's my logic.
serious?
Yes.
No, it can't be your logic. That's not logical.
Yes.
No, 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 no. Ugh, my husband.
So we were able to pass out a lot of cards and promote our company there at the experiences we had at the hospital, and some of the things that really come forefront to mind is y'all get your will together. Have someone do your power of attorney,
Medical
especially
power of
your medical
attorney.
power of attorney.
Your living will.
If you designated your sister to do it way back yonder, and y'all have had a fight since then, and y'all hate each other's guts,
Yonder.
just get it updated.
Do a codicil.
There you go.
Whatever she said.
Yes, y'all doing the crocodile. What she said. Whatever.
The crocodile.
Isn't that what you said?
No, babe.
A coda heel.
Close enough.
Okay.
That's a good job.
But
Can you say opioid?
as y'all know, my wife does a lot of that legal jargon paperwork. So find out under services, one of the tabs in our website.
And men, you have Michael here to talk to too. I get the honor of talking with some men that are survivors, and I understand it's a little humiliating for a man to come forward and talk to a woman.
Sure is.
But you know what? I don't see African American, white, Latino, Puerto Rican. I don't see that. I see a person. And if you've gone through it, male, female, trans, the LGBTQ got some more letters, so I'm not sure what all is in there now. So, but I see a person, and that person needs to talk to somebody. You can talk to Michael, and you can talk to me. And if you want to talk to both of us, if you'd feel more secure having both of us there, we'll make that happen. That's definitely a possibility, but don't just bottle it up. Don't just sit there and wallow in it yourself. One of the best things you can do is just talk, and we listen. You have an ear, you have a support, you have a shoulder. We have one hand here. You can have, well, there's three hands between us. So you've got a hand to help hold you up. You are not alone. And that is something I wish that I could just put on repeat. You're not alone, because when I went through this, I was. And it was one of the most devastating things. Something as simple as hearing someone say, I'm there for you, would have helped me tremendously, but I never had that. So you are not alone, and you do have someone. You have some people here that are here for you. And he's just giving me this look.
Yes, I will listen. Some of it I will understand, and I can sympathize with some of the fellas out there who've gone through some of the type of abuse. For the ladies, I can only empathize because I'm not a female. I did not get beat or physically abused. So my wife's better understanding in that aspect than I am. Are you shutting up now?
No, I'm just
No.
looking at you.
You said something, and I want to go back to our hospital visit. I want to give a kudos to, let's just say, Tony, the security guard.
Okay.
Tony's security guard was a large black man,
African American.
African American. Okay. And I walk through the door, and Tony's sitting there, and I'm carrying up bags of food or clothes. And Tony looks at me after hours, probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and scans me up and down, which is, basic protocol for any security guard, any law enforcement, and looks me in the eye and says, "Go on up, Dad." He said, "Go on up, Dad." And that simple statement meant the world to me, because he didn't see some ugly redneck white guy, which is true. I am.
You are not
He
ugly.
did not see some prejudiced honky. Can I say honky?
Yeah, but you're not prejudiced.
Okay.
You are not prejudiced.
Coming through the door. He didn't see another, vagabond off the street.
Oh, what?
Vagabond.
Oh.
He saw a concerned, loving, caring parent, a dad, a father, coming to check on his child, coming to be with his child. And that just, man, it almost brought pollen to my eyes.
As it is now.
Yes. So
pollen is AKA tears.
Kudos to Tony, the security guard. I'm calling you Tony because I forgot your name. It could be Tommy. It could be Harold, but
it could be hamburgers and grapes.
Little things like that, y'all pay it forward. Simplicity in some words. You don't have to overdo it. My wife has 2 doctorates, and she's always talking down to me. I mean,
do not.
Simple words.
I don't talk down to you. I look up to you.
You have to. I'm 6'1".
You're like 6'6".
You're like 5 nothing.
I'm taller than the average girl.
Girl.
Woman. Lady. Whatever.
I love the shit out of you.
Oh, I wish you guys could just see his face. He's so cute. Mm-hmm.
Y'all know when we do these podcasts, we're always looking at each other's eyes. Excuse me. I sit so close to her here because I talk a little soft. I'm not the one with the big mouth.
What are you trying to say?
Absolutely everything.
Is she saying I have a big mouth?
I didn't say that.
You did just say that.
No.
Yeah, you did. No, you said I'm not the one that has
Correct.
a big mouth. So that means you're implying.
I imply.
Correct. That I'm the one with the big mouth.
You are.
You just confirmed.
You just made the statement.
You said, confirmed it.
I'm the one.
So I have the big mouth. That's fine. I'm fine with that. You have the big heart.
You have the big fat heart.
I gotta be fat now again.
This is not a fat joke.
Now he's got pollen in his eyes.
Oh, stop it.
Faith would say, no matter what, my dad's favorite thing is his big favorite burrito.
You know what? Golly, look what time it is. Y'all write to us. Let us know about the nominations for the puppy to be rehomed. If you know a family or you are a family that might want a puppy, let us know. If you have a sad, horrible, atrocious story about your hospital visit, let us know. We'll read them over the air or talk about them. And I think that's all from us. Thank y'all for listening to A Contagious Smile. Please go to our website, visit the website, go through each tab, see what's all there. And
how about liking and sharing our podcast? Absolutely.
Because we need more followers. And for those of y'all who have donated in past, thank you so much. We currently have 31 dogs, I think, that like to eat.
Yeah, and we're paying for all that out of our own pocket, which is quite hard.
Thank y'all for whatever donation y'all put forward, and we'll do this again probably this weekend, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yes.
Any nice sweet thought you want to leave with?
Yes. Don't give up. You're not alone. And if I talk to you personally out there, y'all, I've expressed an invitation to come on our show. We'd love to have you. So get in touch with me. I'm going to put you on with Victoria. Anything to say? No?
You got it.
Okay. Thank you from A Contagious Smile. Bye, y'all.